Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to show you how to change the ink cartridge in your HP Deskjet Plus 4155. You saw me take the ink cartridge out when I did the video on the printhead cleaning. This is how to replace the cartridges. Now, you do have an information light, a X light, which is cancel, paper feed, and you have a Wi-Fi light. Now, unfortunately, this printer, the way you can view the status of it is through an app, which I have up here, and you can actually do something with this printer, which is really cool. It's called Instant Ink. You can set the app up to where it receives the status of the printer ink from the printer, and it will order it for you. So what I could do is go into settings here, and I could add printer and do all that. So what I'm going to be doing is changing the ink. Now, if you can see it on the camera here, over to the right hand side is the ink cartridge. Yes, there's ink in there, but it dried up. And what happens is when it dries up like that, you have an issue with printing. So what I can do is I can go into the app and check the status of it, but unfortunately when that printer ink dries up, it dries up and you can't use it at all. I've tried doing certain things. Now, when I open this up, and if you remember the other printer I had, which was a Canon printer, and the print head, which is what your ink comes out of, it's like a nozzle. The old term inkjet, which is now Deskjet, inkjet is like a spray can, and you spray it. So it's like spray painting the image on the machine. So when I open this up, you're going to see two cartridges. You're going to see a black and white, and you're going to see a color one. Now, unlike the HP I had where you had yellow, cyan, and magenta, and black, and the glossy black, which are all separate cartridges, this is all in one cartridge for the cyan, the magenta, and the yellow. In the HP, the print head did not come out of this printer. On an ink style like this, your print head is on the ink cartridge itself. Meaning when you replace the ink cartridge, you replace the print head. So I am going to take the inks out now. And all you do is just grab, it pulls straight out. Grab, pull straight out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This has a QR code, and this has a QR code, which says for quick resource, it'll take you to what you want to do. Now this is your print head. If you could see inside my printer, that's where the print head goes. These cartridges also have the print head. So I'm going to put them up here for the meantime so I don't get ink everywhere if there's ink. So this is what you want to buy. This is number 67 of HP, and this is a kit that comes both with the black and white and the cyan, magenta, and yellow. Now there are different packages you can get, and when you get those packages, there's just straight up blue, and there's this. Always buy the kit so you know that the two ink cartridges are the same manufacture date. when you buy them individually, you don't know when they were manufactured or if they were manufactured at the same time. And even though I don't know when this is manufactured, but the two ink cartridges were manufactured at the same time. So you might buy one that was done 6 months ago and you get another one that was done 2 days ago. You want it the same. Then this way, if there's a problem, you're not sitting there trying to troubleshoot your ink cartridges going, okay, what's going on? Alright, so when you get the ink cartridges, they come just like this. And it tells you where it's made. And this is tricolor. And this is black and white. So I'm going to open up the black and white one. You want to open these one at a time. Don't open both up because you don't want to lay the print head side down and you accidentally get ink everywhere. Now, that should not happen until the printer charges it. That's how you get your ink. Now, other printer inks have a plastic coating over the nozzle. Do not open that. Let the printer charge it, and it will break that seal. All right. And this is covering the print head, and you can tell it's a new cartridge. So what you do is, without touching it, take the tape off, and there you go. So now this is good and ready to go. And on a printer like this, the black and white is always to the right, and the tricolor, which contains the cyan, magenta, and yellow, will always be on the left side. Now, if you forget, up in here, if you can see it, is a reference. So now I'm going to take the black and white and I'm going to install it. And try not to move the ink cradle, because you could damage your printer. I know I moved it a little bit, but if your printer ever has a problem and it's getting hung up on something, disconnect it and you can move the ink cradle side by side and see if it's getting hung up on anything. Now it's recognizing the black ink cartridge, as you can see. Now it's going to probably send me an alert saying, hey, where's the other ink cartridge? So what I do now, since it did that, is close it, open it back up, it'll go side to side, and it should come to the middle. And now it's charging the black ink. There we go. So now I got a information light on there. Why is that? I had something in the print queue when there was the old cartridge. So now when I put the new cartridge in, it's going to charge the cartridges and try to print. Your printers have a bit of memory to store the data you send to it. So once you click print and send the data to it, if your computer happens to, the power goes out and your computer shuts down and you already sent this to the printer, if you don't have it plugged into an uninterruptible power supply like I have mine, I even have the printer attached to that for safekeeping. But let's say you forget to plug the computer in. If your printer's in there and you already sent the image text to it, you'll be fine. So now I open up the tricolor. pull that off. There we go. So now what I do is I close it. So now what you're going to hear, if you can hear it on my microphone, you're going to hear the printer do a bunch of things. So what this means is the printer itself is going to charge these ink cartridges. There we go. All right, so that is good to go. So what I can do is I am going to scan something. I have too much paper in there. And when you have especially a printer like this, if you have too much paper installed into the ink tray, the paper tray, excuse me, it doesn't like to do what it needs to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan what's in there, and I'm going to make a colorized copy. So what you do is when you want to scan something, all right, so I'm having trouble with the paper feed right now. So let me see why. There we go. All right. And we should have a colorized copy of what I just scanned. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not, but it is printing the paper that I need. And this was for the cleaning kit video I did a while ago, but it does work. I am very, very happy with it. So that is all that I need. So let's go back to the app, and it'll tell me what the ink status is. It says it's unavailable. It says it was unavailable. It says now it's ready. If you look at the top, the ink cartridges are full. Now, what it's recommended I do, and what's nice about this app, is it'll tell you what the printer needs. So it says alignment recommended. When you change the ink cartridge out, the print heads can, on this particular printer and on any printer, get de-aligned. Once that happens, you start getting one solid color then image, one solid color then image. When I worked retail, I had to do this to the printers several times because nobody knew how to align the printer cartridges properly. So if I select that, so what I do now is I'm going to do that. And when I continue, it's going to do it. All right, it's not letting me do it. So, for some reason, continue. It should let me do it anyway. Hold on. Sometimes the Wi-Fi will act up and not let you do what you need to do. So, and ironically, this printer has its own email address, believe it or not. Okay, there we go. So now I'll go back. Printer status ready. And explore options or dismiss. I'm going to dismiss it. Here we go. I'm going to view the certificate. And my phone is not trusting the printer. So I'm going to have to make it trust it. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I could do it from the app itself. So what I'm going to have to do, I could either do it from something else or another device, which I really don't want to do because this is what I have the printer set up on. Alright, so let me do it again. Alignment and maintenance directly from here. I was clicking the notification and for some reason it did not like it. Okay, so what you do here is I could print a diagnostic report of the printer and I can clean it up. Now for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do what it recommends. So I'm going to click Align. And it's not picking up the paper. Oh, it is. Alright, so it did what it was supposed to do. Now, this printer is very, very interesting. It's not like the other printers where you print a page and you manually select it. What this printer will do is it will physically print you a page and you scan it and it does it for you. Now, for a computer guy like myself, it makes it really, really nice service and basically fix the printer and make all the options correct. For someone who is, let's just say, an average, what they call an end user, which is the average user of the printer and or computer, this makes it easier for them to do it. Alright, so as you see, it printed the alignment sheet. So what I got to do is, and also if you ever scan something, you see this arrow right up here, it's going to vary from scanner to scanner. You want to put this corner up against this, otherwise you'll get a funny scan. So what I'm going to do now is put that up there. And you could do this in black and white or colorized copy. I do recommend doing the way it printed it out. So now I push the colorize copy button. It's going to scan it. Once it scans it, your alignment is complete. Oh, I have to go back to the app. Okay. I fixed the error. There we go. So now I'll do the colorize copy. So on this printer, when you want to scan, you push whatever button you need. And then if it's 1, you push it once and you let it go. You need 2, you push it twice and let it go, and then that confirms it. Okay. And this is the exact copy. So now the print heads are aligned. So now it just says ready. So my printer is good to go. So anyway, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications.